Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Julia and this is a library card education. Let's just get this out of the way. If you haven't before, subscribe, like, share if you find this interesting, and let's get into it. This is my rising sixth graders curriculum reveal for 2026-2027, and my clock's going, always happens. And extra noise are my cheapies in the background. I was gonna get one out and hold it while I was doing this, but as soon as I did that, one of my cats started looking at it and started mewing hungrily, so I decided I probably shouldn't have a chick in my hands. So without further ado, we are going to go through religion first. She wanted to go through this story Bible. It's a big one. It's Bishop Barron's Word on Fire. She likes these sorts of story Bibles. She has said she's not quite ready to move on to a full adult Bible. However, she did take interest in my journaling Bible that I previewed in my 8th graders video. So if you want to see that, it's just a real quick 30-second thing and you'll see it. I'm praying I don't knock this box over. She's going to do catechism stories by Father Lovisick, and this is literally just a reprint, and it goes through the entire catechism, but in story format. And this will probably take her 2 years. On those days when she doesn't want to do that, because she goes back and forth of what type of catechism she wants to use depending on how she's feeling, her mood, does she want to read a lot that week or does she not? We have our trusty standby, very beaten up copy that I got used years ago. I mean, it's like falling apart here, but we have it. It's a Seton, I think it's a 2007. It's an old one. 2003, so it's a really old one. And then Saint of a Day. She wants to do watercolor this year. So I found this on Rainbow Resources, and it's watercolor paper, and it walks you through watercolor projects. Because I decided that we aren't going to use Good and Beautiful products anymore, she still wanted to do art projects that you would find in that curriculum, so that's what I went with. If you're interested in these, there are 3 themes. I think there's a forest one and maybe an oceans one. Geography. We are focusing on U.S. geography this year. I'm going to probably combine her and my 1st grader. So we're going with master books. And we will use a variety of resources, but this is the main one. I also have a book called Catholic Geography B. It was printed 20, 30 years ago, but it goes through all the information for each state, including some Catholic tidbits, but those are expensive. So if you're looking for it, you may not find it, but if you do, be prepared. It's going to be a pretty penny. And this is the teacher guide with it. It has recipes, it has your maps, your flags, and some basic worksheets. On to math. I've decided to go back to something that I wanted to use with her for a while. And I think this coming year, I should be able to use it, barring I don't have any more babies. I've made it 18 months without having any more babies. We'll see if that continues. If that continues, we're going back to Apologia Math. This is the teacher guide. And everything you find in here that you can rip out in this back. If you buy this book, this set, they give you a code and you can go online and you can just print it off. I know I don't like ripping things out because it never rips straight and that drives me insane, that OCD thing. So you can just print them out from your computer and just keep your teacher guide and only buy that once if you decide to use these for multiple children over multiple years. They've just released these skills practice books and they have one for level 5 and level 6. So instead of doing my original plan, which was Apologia with master books for my supplement for review and drills, I'm going to try this. If this doesn't offer enough, or I need something a little bit more, or I need something that's very specific, I can go through Masterbooks, as I own their K through 6 on digital downloads, and I can print off what we need. But just a quick flip through. A lot of white space, not overwhelming. And you can use this in a variety of ways. You can use this for warm-ups. You can use this just as needed. You can use this for a couple of days a week. You can cherry pick what you want. So take something out of Unit 1 and then come back throughout the year and continue to do from Unit 1 so that you're essentially creating a very loose spiral with just their skills review. And obviously her textbook. It's a big one. Smack myself in the face because you know that's always wonderful. I'm gonna turn this light on. I'm old and I can't see, so some of this she's already familiar with, so we'll just breeze through the things that she knows, but then we can slow down for the things that she's still struggling with, like her fractions. And I don't anticipate this will take all year for her to do, but I am going to allow her all year to do it if we need that pacing for her. Handwriting. And like my oldest, she still wants to do book and a movie, and she likes the idea of doing book reports. So I found this little journal on Amazon, and then she can just fill out what she likes. And I think it's all the same page. Yeah, it's all the same page. She wants to learn French. So we're going to go with this recommendation. I won't be using the CD. They now have a YouTube channel, so all of the pronunciations you no longer need for the CD. You'll just get out YouTube. So if you find a good one on eBay for cheap, don't worry about not having the CD. Science. God's design, heaven and earth. And I just released a flip through for this a few days ago. So if you're interested in that, check that out. This is a Protestant company. Yes, I get that. But my thought is well, every other Catholic company uses Protestant materials, both math and science. So if they can do that, why can't I? So this is what I've landed on. Language arts has been a struggle for us for several years. I tried doing the Charlotte Mason method with her, doing copywork dictation, using spelling from both Simply Charlotte Mason as well as taking it from her books that she's been reading. Try doing narrations. She fights it tooth and nail, even her oral narrations, and she's going to be 12 this year. And it just, she goes blank. She reads it and then she just gets stage fright. Something happens, the anxiety takes over, and she cannot think. She cannot process. She cannot remember. There are times that she can, and she will usually get it in sequential order. Not always. She misses a lot of big details, and then she gets so shaky like a leaf, and I don't want to do that to her anymore. It's not worth it to me. We can come back to it in a few years. We will keep practicing bit by bit, slowly over time. Maybe she'll pick up the skill, maybe she won't. But Charlotte Mason, not for this kid, and that's just the way it is, and I'm not going to apologize for it. So what we've chosen is Learning Language Arts Through Literature. And this is the purple book. This is technically a 5th grade level. She's going into 6th grade. I have noticed that she does much better when we keep her 1 grade below in all of her skills. The best way I can describe this book is, if you are familiar with master books, or if you look at their examples online, combine that master books language arts with this. This is the Catholic version of Emma Searle. But these books will take the best of master books and their gentle pacing, it's not very dense. I mean, some of these pages are a little bit dense. Is this the teacher one? No, this is the student. but it's typically 1 page, front and back, for the day, if that. So it lessens the amount of work that they are expected to do, which is really good for ADHD children and children with needs, or children that have a hard time with processing. They're having a hard time with retaining information. They just need a slower pace. They need less overwhelming, rigorous materials. So you have all the best of master books, but then you're using great literature that isn't Bible based. And I struggled with that with master books. I bought the book this year. I looked through it, but it's going to be too hard for me to make that fit with our faith. I also wanted something that will encourage dictation and narration. It's not Charlotte Mason in that it follows a Charlotte Mason principle, but both classical and Charlotte Mason use the same idea. So I wanted to take some of these lessons, some of the great things about these lessons, and some of the research and dictionary and vocabulary work, and combine that. So that's what we've landed on. Hopefully it works, and if it does, it goes through high school. History. We are using 2 things for her. 1 main, 1 supplement as needed. We are sticking with Tan's Story of Civilization. We are doing volume 4. This is American history. I may use the teacher guides this year just to bring in some of the projects that she likes to do. And as needed, we'll use a few lessons from this. Not too many, but just a few. There's some in here where it goes over all of the native home types. You don't get that in Story of Civilization. And then there's some where it shows you old-fashioned schoolhouses. Now, granted, we have that at our local history museum, but that's part of what I liked about it, was we could read that and the information it has about school in the early days and in the colonies. And then we can just go to our local history museum. But specifically things that are not in our Catholic history that also do not go against Catholic teaching. So we'll pull that out as we need for volumes, at least 1, but maybe volumes 1, 2, and 3, since I have all 3. The main subjects are done. We are now going to get into the literature. I'm going to show you a lot of it. It is tentative. It will depend on her needs, her pacing. She has days and weeks where she can read a lot. She has days and weeks where she can't read a lot. She has to go much slower. She needs more time, more downtime to just be let alone. And so whatever she doesn't finish this year, we will gladly add to next year. There is no rush. There is no pressure with this. I just like having my stack so I don't have to go digging for it come November or February. It's all ready for me. Catholic graphic novel. This is from St. Jerome's Library. Opal Wheeler, Paganini. These are on, it's either Rainbow Resources or christianbooks.com. I think it's Rainbow Resources. And she'll do another Mozart. Stories of Pioneer Life. I bought this from St. Jerome's Library. We have the first book somewhere. Don't know where it went. I've been losing a lot of my books lately. She saw this book in my oldest stack a couple days ago and begged to use it and almost ran downstairs to start reading it. So she wants to read through, it's not on the cover page. This is the book if you watched my 8th grade video. This is the Confederate Chaplain Award Journal from a priest for the Confederate soldiers. And his perspective, it's his actual diary from his perspective. So she wants to read that. Oh. Our Lady of Champion, that's in our state. The shrine is. Keys of Jesterton. This is about the Ursuline sisters for Louisiana. Our Lady of Lepanto. And this is also from Philip Campbell. I featured a lot of his books in my 8th grade video. This is a different kind of book. I haven't read it yet. It was given to us by the sisters at a local convent. My daughter spends a lot of time there. She loves being at their convent. And this is a book about the history of their convent that's maybe 12 minutes from us. She takes organ lessons through their conservatory. And this is on my daughter's heart. She asked if she could read this. She pulled it out of our library shelves downstairs. And she wants to be a sister when she grows up. She wants to be a consecrated religious. And she has wanted to be that since she was 2 years old. And she's going to be 12, so we're talking 10 years. It was her desire when she was 2 to be Mother Angelica. So if you know who that is, that's her role model. And we'll see how that vocation plays out. But for so far, so good. She wants to read that. That's one that she's asked for. She also asked for this. This is about Mother Seton. And this is an old, I think it's a Fabian Wyandotte. Nope, it's a Vision Books. So it's a first print hardcover. Next step, she will also read through this, but for fun, just to show everybody, I have a first edition of that book. It is really, really beaten up, but she gets to read this one while I get to oogle this one. Ben and Me. If you aren't familiar, vintage Disney, you can find it on YouTube. It's from, I want to say the 50s. They made a cartoon that's about 24, 25 minutes of this book. So that's fun. Someone used a tissue as a bookmark. I really hope it wasn't used. Probably my oldest. This will be around Thanksgiving. Ocean-Born Mary. And this is called The Gift from Mikado. It's a Japanese story. You can also find very rare Mikado tomato seeds from Hudson Valley Seed Company in New York, if you're a seed person. See that yellow fever pandemic of 1793. We have books in here that will be easy reads, books that will be more challenging for her, and everything in between, depending on what her needs are. This is The Messenger. Don't know what happened to the dust jacket. I don't know if you can see that. Old Mill on the Withrose, and this is St. Augustine Press, so it's a Catholic book. Confederacy. And my last step, oh my goodness. This goes along with her purple book. But I was going to have her read it anyhow, so it works. United States Geography-Based Mysteries. Let's see the author. See, when I got this, I didn't realize it was Virginia. Where I grew up in Detroit, we had a little island called Belle Island. I thought that's what it was. Silly me. And these next books, she also picked up. She went downstairs in our library and picked these out and wanted them added to her stack of books to go through. This is Landmarks, the story of the U.S. Marines. Custer's Last Stand. However, she didn't know it was about General Custer. She thought it was about ice cream custard. So, okay, but she'll still want to read it. Silly girl. And this one is The Sinking of the Bismarck. Then we had a book to go along with this. It disappeared. We can't find it. It just came in this week. It's one of the landmarks for JFK, talking about his naval experience. So wherever we find it, that's added to this. It goes along with the naval theme that she's interested in. And last but not least, Dolly Madison. She watched something about that on a cooking history channel last night and how she was credited for ice cream. Oops, bookmark. So don't know if it gets into that history, but she wants to read Dolly Madison. And that is it for my up and coming 6th graders year. If you have questions, comments, let me know down below. Like, subscribe, share, and I will see you next time.